Alright, so on to question 16, and it was another one that included a chart, so I just drew it beforehand to save some time. Question 16 says, what expression must the center cell of the table below contain so that the sums of each row, each column, and each diagonal are equivalent? So it wants to know what term should we include in this box so that when we add up all the numbers or all the terms in the top row, that'll be equal to the sum of all the terms in the middle row, and that'll be equal to all the terms in the bottom row. Similarly, it's saying what term should we include in this box so that when we add up all the terms in this middle column, it'll be equal to the sum of all the terms in this last column, and those will both be equal to all the terms in this first column. So there are a few ways to approach this. So one way is to say, well, all of these numbers, the sum of all these numbers needs to be equal to the sum of all these numbers, which needs to be equal to the sum of all these terms. So we could say x plus 8x plus negative 3x is equal to negative 2x plus some question mark plus 6x. And that is equal to 7x plus negative 4x plus 3x. And we can just simplify these because these are all like terms. So x plus 8x minus 3x is equal to 6x. And that has to be equal to 7x minus 4x plus 3x, which is 6x. So these two are equal. We just need to find which term will make this guy equal to 6x. So we have negative 2x plus 6x equals 4x plus some number or some term. And what term can we fill into this question mark so that'll be equal? Well, you could just subtract 4x, and this question mark will be equal to negative minus 4x, that's 2x, minus 4x, that's 2x. So this question mark is equal to 2x, and that's the answer to number 16. And we can just check to make sure that this meets the requirements of the original question, that all the column sums will be equal to each other. So we see that x minus 2x plus 7x is equal to 6x. 8x plus 2x minus 4x is equal to 6x. And negative 3x plus 6 plus, or negative 3x plus 6x plus 3x is equal to 6x. And similarly, the diagonals should be equal to each other as well. So 7x plus 2x minus 3x equals 6x, and x plus 3x plus 2x also equals 6x. So all the requirements have been met, and 2x is the correct answer. And we'll go on to question 17. 17 says, point A is to be graphed in a quadrant not on an axis of the standard xy coordinate plane below. And it shows something like this. This is the coordinate plane, a standard coordinate plane, with your x values here and your y values there. And it labels it for you quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. These are just Roman numerals, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it says if the x and the y coordinate of point A, so some point A, are to have opposite signs, then point A must be located in. So which quadrant is point A to be located in if its x value has to have an opposite value of its y value? So any point in quadrant 1 will be somewhere in this area. You'll be going to the right in the x direction and up in the y direction. So you'll have a point A will have the coordinates of a positive x value and a positive y value. So we can see that these are not opposite signs, and we can discard quadrant 1. Quadrant 2, we can see that we'll be going to the left in the x direction and positive in the y direction. So point A will have the coordinates, or a negative x coordinate and a positive y coordinate, in quadrant 3, we can see that the y values will be going down and the x values will still be going to the left. So point A will have negative, negative, will have a negative x value and a negative y value. These are the same, so quadrant 3 is out. And quadrant 4, we can see that you'll be going to the right in the x direction and down in the y direction, which will make A have a positive x value and a negative y value. So just reviewing here, we can see that in quadrant 1, point A will have positive, positive, which are not opposite. Point 2, it'll have negative, positive, which are opposite. Quadrant 3, it'll have negative, negative, which are not opposite. And quadrant 4, it'll have positive, negative, which are opposite. So we can see that point A will have opposite signs when point A is placed in quadrant 2, or it'll be placed in quadrant 4. And I'll see you in the next video.